Hey everyone, so without a doubt the #1 video request I get is how did I grow my hair to this length? What do I do to take care of it, maintain the length that I have? And so I finally made a bunch of notes over here. So I'm going to go through everything about how I got to this length and then how I retained that length. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so to give you just a little bit of background on my hair, I have medium density, low porosity hair. It is about waist length when it is stretched all the way out. So it's about down to here. I have always had really long hair. I did cut my hair to my shoulders. It was like a baby asymmetrical cut at the end of 2008. It was just barely grazing my shoulders in the back, and then it came down to about right here in the front straight. So it's taken me about what, 5.5 years to get to waist length. Before that it was always pretty much like mid back length, but never this long. And so I'm just going to run through everything that I think has helped my hair reach this length. All right. When I say that my hair is medium density, it's not super thick. It looks like really thick when it's curly, and I think I have a lot of hair, but when I straighten it, it's much finer and much thinner. It's definitely thinner here, as in I think I have fewer strands here in the front of my head as opposed to the back of my head. And then when I say I have low porosity hair, what that means is each strand of hair on your head has a cuticle over it, kind of like encasing it, and it's made of kind of like scales. Low porosity means that the scales are all laying flat, kind of like if you imagined a snake, how the scales just lay flat and up against one another. And so that means that it's very difficult for anything to penetrate inside of that cuticle. It's difficult for color to penetrate when I try to dye my hair. That's why a lot of times it doesn't really come out the color that I want it to be. It's difficult for moisture or water or any type of product to penetrate that hair unless you are able to lift the cuticle. Okay, so amongst those who have natural hair, it's kind of, I don't want to say controversial about whether or not you use sulfates, but some people are die-hard, no sulfates. Some use them, some really don't care either way. I've gotten to the point that with my hair, I may not need a sulfate shampoo, but I definitely cannot co-wash. Because my hair is low, has low porosity, I get product buildup really quickly, and so I need something that's a little bit stronger, that's actually going to not strip my hair, but definitely remove any buildup that's in my hair. So I like things, if they don't have sulfates in them, that still set up a lot and give me that deep cleanse that I'm looking for. So I like the I'll try to list the products that I'm talking about down below. I like the Bronners tea tree soap, because that's great for itchy scalp, removing excess buildup or anything like that, and it doesn't have sulfates in it. I need to make sure that I keep my scalp clean so that I can promote healthy hair coming out of my scalp, because if I have all this junk up here that's just like clogging my scalp and my pores, then my hair is not going to grow like I want it to anyway. Because my hair has low porosity, that protein kind of just like sits on top and makes my hair really stiff. So I tend to stay away from heavily protein based deep conditioners. I like to go for the more just straight moisturizing conditioners. And also with deep conditioning, I try to do it about once a week. I've gotten so much better about doing it. I definitely do it at least twice a month, but I try to do it at least once a week, pretty much anytime that or twice a week, pretty much anytime that I'm like thoroughly cleansing my hair, I want to go ahead and just do a deep condition. And with me, it works best if I do it on clean, wet hair, and I use heat. I've tried deep conditioning on just my dry hair, and it doesn't do anything for it because it's not going to penetrate my strands. So I like to wash my hair, and then I will throw on my deep conditioner, put a shower cap, like a sheer a clear, one of those clear shower caps on top of it, and let that sit for anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour. It's really not necessary to deep condition your hair too much longer than that. Like I used to do it overnight a lot, but I really don't notice that big of a difference between doing it overnight and then just doing it for like 30 to 45 minutes or an hour, you know, a couple hours, anything like that. To deep condition and using heat helps to open up the cuticle of my hair so that that product can penetrate it to the fullest, and I actually get, you know, the benefits of it. I now no longer really detangle my hair when it's dry. I used to do like the coconut oil method where you kind of just like finger detangle it while it's dry with coconut oil. It's okay. I don't really do that as much. I really like to detangle my hair now after I've put in the deep conditioner and I've let that sit in for like 30 minutes to an hour. It just really softens up the hair and it makes it a lot easier for the tangles to come out. I finger detangle. I still use my Denman brush, and I also sometimes use my tangle teaser, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, the one that has like 100,000 teeth in it. It makes it a lot easier to detangle my hair. It just depends on kind of like what I'm going for. If I'm in a rush, I'll do it with my fingers. If I want my hair to be like clumped up, I'll use the Denman brush because it really clumps curls together. And then if I just kind of want to just like really thoroughly detangle it, I will use the tangle teaser. But I want to make sure that my hair is like soaking wet and very moist with a lot of conditioner on it before I use the tangle teaser, because if not, I've noticed that it can cause your hair to break off a lot on the ends. I think just because it has a lot of those fine teeth in it. So that's what I do with that. Okay, so as far as using oils on my hair, I've started to seal my ends a lot more than I used to do pretty much ever before, because the ends of your hair are the oldest and the most prone to breakage. So I want to make sure that I protect them so that I can retain the length that I do have. I really enjoy using argan oils, jojoba oils, and coconut oils on my ends to seal in any moisture. I kind of put it all over my hair, but definitely concentrated on my ends. And I've also recently gotten into black castor oil, which is a lot thicker of an oil, but I do like to use that every now and then. So that's pretty much everything as far as how I've been maintaining my hair and trying to keep it healthy. Now, as far as like when I grew my hair back out, I think what mainly helped it is that I just left it alone. I used to straighten my hair all the time growing up, and definitely in college I was putting heat on it probably 4, 5, 6 times a week with a flat iron. I mean, like high heat, like 400-degree heat, no heat protectant. And I did notice now looking back at pictures that my hair was fried from probably, I mean it was long, but it was still fried from like here down, the last like 5 or 6 inches of it. So when I started wearing my hair curly, I just left it alone. I left the heat alone. It wasn't necessary for me to straighten anymore. I mean, one, you get, like, for those of you that are looking for a confidence booster, I definitely feel like people compliment curly hair a lot more than they compliment my straight hair. And then I stopped messing with it. I don't really play in my hair. I might move it out of my face, but I don't sit here and twist strands. I don't tug at it. I don't really wear a lot of like tight ponytails. I definitely hardly put any heat on it. When I do flat iron my hair, I flat iron it that one time, and then I typically wear it like straight for like 2 weeks. I won't put any more heat on it. Maybe unless I feel like curling it, which isn't that often, but for the most part I won't put any more heat on it for that entire 2 weeks period. I always use a heat protectant. I never transitioned in the, I guess, traditional sense. Like when I think I probably got like 5 or 6 relaxers growing up. I think because I have low porosity hair and the fact that I wasn't getting very strong relaxers, that's why it didn't keep my hair straight really. I would get a relaxer, and then when I went to wash my hair, it would curl right back up like this. So I wasn't getting very strong relaxers. I wasn't getting them very often. I think maybe every 6 months. And then I have low porosity hair, so it probably wasn't even really penetrating the cuticle to straighten it anyway. So I didn't really have any problem with when I stopped getting relaxers and just started wearing my hair curly. I didn't have any problem with 2 different types of textures or any breakage or anything like that. So I don't know a ton about transitioning, but I think taking proper care of your scalp, like making sure you do deep cleanse your scalp often, at least once a week, I think helps to promote healthy hair growth. Low heat, taking care of yourself from the inside out, to drink tons of water, because it's going to hydrate your body and hydrate anything that comes from your body, right? Like your hair. Having a healthy diet is extremely important. You get a lot of your nutrients or vitamins that you need. Most of them come from your diet. Your hair needs vitamins as well. So having a healthy diet also helps a ton. So those are my main tips, and I'm just going to run through them again. I think the first thing you need to do is figure out what type of hair you have. Do not worry about the method of categorizing your curls, like you have 2A or 3C or 4B hair. Do not worry about that so much as worrying about how thick is your hair. Is your hair low porosity, medium porosity, high porosity? And the way that you can test out porosity is just to grab a couple of strands that have fallen out, that are in your brush or whatever, get a bowl or a glass of water, lay the hair in there. If it sinks to the bottom, you have high porosity hair, which means that that cuticle is a lot more damaged, and you're just getting anything that's very porous, and anything is just flowing in and out, but it's not really staying in there. Medium porosity hair is like if it lays up there at the top for a little bit and then kind of, you know, for several minutes and then sinks. That's more normal hair. It's properly hydrated. You're gonna get it's gonna take well to any type of moisturizers or color or anything like that. If it stays right there on the top and it doesn't sink, you have low porosity hair, which just means that the cuticle is really tightly closed, and you're gonna have to do a couple extra measures to try to open that cuticle up without damaging it, so that you can penetrate it with any proper, you know, products that you want to use, and then it'll close back on its own. There are no rules that are going to work for every single person across the board. I do think that low heat helps everybody. I do think that deep conditioning helps everyone. I think thoroughly cleansing your hair, not necessarily with a shampoo or any type of sulfates, but I do think that thoroughly cleansing your hair helps everyone, because a clean scalp is going to promote better hair growth. Protective styling is beneficial to everyone. I think those who are just starting out with transitioning or going natural, I think protective styling helps in the sense that it makes all of the hair kind of look the same. It's going to make it so you don't have to do it as often, and therefore it'll be less prone to breakage. I think that protective styling helps with longer hair like mine, because since my hair is a whole lot longer now, these wash and goes are a little bit not as easy to do because my hair gets tangled a lot more. So I like to do any type of roller set or twist outs, because it allows the hair at the back to be protected if I twist it up and then it's like tucked away, as opposed to it just being loose and rubbing against the back of my clothing all day and then getting into one giant knot. As far as like trimming, I trim my hair myself unless I want an actual haircut with layers or some type of like body and shape. I trim my hair myself. I don't think I would do a video showing you how I do it, because I'm okay if it doesn't come out perfect. I don't want you to follow my lead and it not look right and then you be mad, okay? I pretty much, when it's straight, I just snip it off when I think it's dead. Just try to keep it even, and I keep it moving. I don't know if it's necessary to cut your hair like every 6 weeks. If that works for you, then go right ahead. But for me, I kind of just trim it whenever I straighten it, which is about once every 2 to 3, 4 months, whenever I feel like straightening my hair. If you have any additional questions, leave them down below, and I'll try to do another like hair Q&A. I have a couple that I'll list down below if you want to watch them, but I'll try to do an updated hair Q&A. So if you have any questions, just leave them down below. Thank you guys so much as always for watching. I hope I didn't forget anything. But yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.